compare. Now I think beat, it's all so slick. The rhythm and the music.
Yes. Welcome to the podcast, everybody. And where every time we start it, Mr. Darkwave loses his brain cells, of course, every time.
Emma. Gotta do
Hey,
what
man.
the fans want.
That is true. Well, today we have a few things to talk about. I believe we're going to start the day off with what you wanted to talk about with the Hoyoverse.
Man, it's been so long, dude. It's not really Hoyoverse. It was more the player base of Hoyoverse.
The hell did they do this time?
It was about a certain character named Castrus in Honkai Star Rail. People had lost their shit because of a global passive, which, don't get me wrong, the global passive is 1,000% not needed for the game. It's not good for the game. But you had a revive. So basically, whether you can't see it on the phone, whether the characters on your team or not, she can just revive teammate. One turn, one time. If all of them die at once, like say you lose 4 people at one time, all 4 get revived, and they have to get healed to live, and then that's it. One turn. The passive itself is very tame, but it's the doors that it opens for future tunes. And I'm not going to stick on this long because it's been weeks, or about a week since she's come out. But the community where certain people were damning people for pulling her. Now, I pulled her because she is a sexy death elf with a scythe and a dragon. I couldn't give a fuck about a global passive. And you have people talking about morals. And I'm like, what morals? This is a fucking... First of all, the fact that you even play this game, Star Rail, is an act of loss of morality. Let's be real. And on top of that, morals in gaming died decades ago, years ago.
That is true.
I don't care who we are. I don't care who you are. I don't care how much you contribute. Microtransactions, battle passes, DLC, all these different things wrapped up into a bubble. It's exactly why games like gacha games exist. Because people will just throw their money at anything. Rolling for a character does not mean you lost morality. It's either one or two things. You either want the gold passive, you like the character in general, or for me, you like the character and you just don't give a shit. I've had geeks say, you have no morals, you support this garbage. Bitch, the game is not going anywhere. Boycotts don't work. I don't know why we think boycotts legitimately work in 2025.
Yeah, it actually bugs me, especially if you try to boycott something, especially in the gaming industry, but then you look at your playlist and everyone and their grandmother's playing it, and it's almost like you just wasting your time.
Well, I'll boycott the character, but I'll still play a game.
That doesn't help.
You're still playing the game. And I even said, okay, let's say you skip Castrus and you get a Noxa, the next character coming as a guy. That guy is going to get your money then, right? Or your time. Or at the end of the day, I'm not going to stick on this long. Morality in gaming is long since dead. I don't give a shit what anyone says. It's a personal preference. If you, the person, do not believe in something a game company or a particular patch is doing, then you either do one or two things. You vote with your wallet, which you either don't buy it, don't play it, vote with your wallet. But it means nothing. There are billions of people on this planet. I don't give a shit if content creators stop playing Honkai Star Rail or any gacha. Do y'all think content creators are the only whales out here in the world? No. I guarantee you there are people who don't create a lick of content who probably have every Star Rail character C6 and all. Guaranteed. It doesn't work. There's no sense of morality in gaming because no one cares. You know, no matter how much you put into the gaming, whether it be $1, $5, $500, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, the very second you put $1, you have no saying shit.
You know, we and this is across all gaming, not just gotcha. Because if us gamers did not implore in this microtransactions, DLC, battle passes, buying skins, and all this other shit, gotcha really wouldn't be much of a thing. I mean, gotcha technically just comes from the gambling world of gaming, really. But at the end of the day, they probably wouldn't push it as hard if they knew that gamers aren't really buying shit outside of just the game itself. So, because we gamers are fucking stupid, and that's all of us across the board, not just this person. No, it's all of us. Because all of us bought DLC, all of us microtransaction in a video game. No matter how much shit we talk about it, we all do it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I bought a few things from our rivals.
I mean, it's not just rivals; it's across the board. I mean, any DLC from the dawn of time. I mean, stuff from Warframe. If you play Gotcha, I'm not saying I sit here and throw $300, $400, $500, $600 on fucking Gotcha games. Not even close.
Mm-hmm.
But I would be lying if I said I'd never put any money into Honkai Star Rail or ZZZ. No matter if it's just the $5 monthly pass, or actually buying some currency, which I rarely ever do. It doesn't matter. Boycotts don't work. It has to be something truly offensive, like truly defamation of something, or offensive for a boycott to even get a hint of concern by corporations. But in the gaming world, it doesn't matter.
It really doesn't.
There are too many fucking people who just play games because they like the game. They don't give a crap. They don't give a fuck about the behind the scenes. They don't care what this content creator says, that content creator says, this person there, that. No. No. Unfortunately, the thing we love so much, gaming, is ruined. It's been ruined for quite some time in terms of, what we have allowed to just seep in our gaming world. But we're all guilty, so you either accept it or you don't.
It
is about the individual. Do not attack people or someone because they are doing something that you think is immoral. Bitch, gaming is immoral. I mean, fuck we doing? Like, go stay in the fucking corner and go cry me a fucking river. Here's some tissue. Go cry me a fucking river.
Yeah.
But that's just it. It's legitimately laughable garbage at this stage. It's laughable. So,
yeah, people pretend like there's a moral ground with certain games, and I'm like, you're buying said games, and you just look stupid.
So, yeah, but that's the Hoyoverse thing. It's more of the community than the company. I mean, the company is fucking dog shit anyway. But that's a whole different discussion.
You said the company. What did the company do?
I mean, it's not that Hoyer. So it's not that. No, they're pretty bad. So on its surface, you would think Hoyoverse is the best gacha game people out there. Their games are the ones on consoles. Their games are the more highly, produced. They look the best. They sound the best. And these are not my opinions. I'm just the general consensus.
Mm-hmm.
And while in certain aspects those are true, you look at other gachas in the world. When you dive outside of the Hoyoverse bubble, I play games on my phone all the time. Most of them gotcha. That's just what the game. That's what mobile games are filled with. But when you go outside the Hoyoverse bubble, when you really play other gotchas and you play them for a period of time, you realize that the rewards that Hoyoverse gives, or the generosity to its fan base that Hoyoverse, it's fucking good. It's nothing. It's honestly laughable.
Yeah.
You know, I played a solo leveling one before, and in the mail, no anniversary, no fucking event, just like basically thanking their players. They just put in daily 1,000 of their currency, basically to a point where you can basically roll and get a character. You know, enough to get a character. You have Aether Gazer that, you know, their anniversaries or their special moments, they may not give a lot of the currency, but fuck that. They're just dropping you a fucking character banner. Pick a character you want for free. Boom. You know, I've gotten at least 4 or 5, give or take, free characters just from Aether Gazer alone.
Oh wow.
And I'm sure there's many others. I mean, Black Beacon, I tried that out. They gave a currency for you to at least get a character and basically close enough to a weapon. They basically you could select. You do 30 spins and you can just select the character right off the back, and they give you 30 spins for free. So here's a free 5-star. Weathering Waves. I mean, Weathering Waves gave out so much shit in the beginning that it makes Hoyoverse look. And then what does Hoyoverse give during their anniversaries? Hoyoverse gives you basically a whale event, which whales are people who spend money. They give you a whaling event, and they give 30 quote quote free spins. One of the spins, which is delayed. Why is delayed? For 16 days now, 10 days. It'll be released in 10 days for us. Why is shit delayed like that? I have no idea. Don't get me started on Genshin Impact. They give nothing for that game. We don't know what ZZZ is going to do in terms of their anniversary, but it's Hoyoverse, the company. The devs in this, you would see these devs. The devs in the Hoyoverse are so vastly different than one another. It is ridiculous. You have one dev that said, was it the ZZZ devs? I think from what I've heard, they wanted their little weapon banner to be 100%. But the company Hoyoverse didn't want that. But I mean, when you dive outside the Hoyoverse bubble, you realize, because 30 spins in Hoyoverse game is absolutely fucking nothing. 30 spins it's nothing. So when you dive outside of the Hoyoverse bubble and you dive into just other companies' gotchas, not saying their quality is on par, but when you see how generous they are to their fan base, it's something that you basically just laugh at. You know, that was it. Nikkei gave like 100 fucking spins, and here's Star Rail giving 30. Here's Genshin giving like 2. Like,
yeah, even stepping out of the bubble, Final Fantasy Brave Exvius before they shut it down, they actually had events where, depending like if they're like released like Final Fantasy 7 characters, and they gave you like a ton of spins just to get Sephiroth. And if you didn't, that's when you had to start paying.
Yeah. Like, you know, you just they reward you for being a fan. They were, you know, other companies reward you with, with meaningful stuff for investing time into their game. And Star Rail, in a lot of ways, really doesn't. Or just Hoyer, not just Star. It's Hoyer. Now we don't know what they'll do with ZZZ. ZZZ is, for now, in my honest opinion, the best Hoyo game in terms of their dev team. We don't know what they'll do for their anniversary, which is later this year. But I mean, if it's typical Hoyoverse fashion, it'll be 30 fucking spins and yeah. But I mean, that would be kind of lackluster because they literally did that basically 2 patches back to back randomly. So 30 spins for anniversary, I think is kind of mid. I don't know why they just don't give a free character from the. In my opinion, and we can move on after this. If any gacha does an anniversary, a 1 year anniversary, which is usually the start of their next like patch number, like 2.0, 3.0, etc. Just give a ticket for a free character from the 1.0 patch. What difference does it make?
It really doesn't.
And I'm talking about up to the latest. So in this case, maybe the latest is too generous, but fuck it. Like at least up to like the second to last patch.
Yeah.
So in this case for ZZZ, it would be 1.6. You wouldn't get the 1.7 cast, but give them a ticket for anyone from 1.0 to 1.6. Character and or their weapon. So you have this is Hoyoverse, you can't be too nice. So you either pick the character or you pick the weapon. Any character, anything from 1.0 to 1.6. Because then at that point it'd be 1.6 would be 2 patches behind. That's what I would do. It doesn't hurt because by that point you're starting 2.0. You're not giving away the 1.7. The 1.x casts, while they said they're going to be buffing them and reworking them so they stay, have some longevity, most people either already have them or are waiting for a rerun anyway, and rerun value in game. I mean, who cares? Just give them, and don't give them a standard character banner. No one wants that. Like the standards, not that they're terrible, but I mean, if you're someone like me who has had dog shit luck, you have all the standards but one. So, well, I'm just gonna look at the standard banner ticket and just pick the one I don't have and I'll never use.
Yeah.
Like, and the sad thing is that the one that I don't have is the one I really wanted to start the game with. But of course, I get everyone else but her. Now I could have gotten her. I chose other priorities.
Yeah, for me, like I said, the only gacha game I truly played was Brave Exvius, and I've yet to spend $1 on that game. Even that it's shut down now, I can officially say I didn't spend a dime, and I got exactly what I needed just from playing the game. It made me feel like, yo, thank you for playing that game type of vibe.
Well, and that's the thing about gachas, a lot of people think, oh, you can't do this without spending money, which is very wrong. Truth be told,
Marvel Rivals?
Marvel's not a gacha game.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, it's not. My bad.
Truth be told, anyone who says you have to spend money on a gacha game to succeed is terribly wrong. Now, there are caveats to this. If you are 100, and I mean no daily pass, no battle pass, nothing, like 100% free to play, there are things that you will have to do that are much different from even the most lowest of spenders. You have to invest in your 4 stars or your A ranks. You have to save up your spend. So every event, you gotta do it. Make sure you do all the events. Make sure you do anything that gives you gems. You make sure you do it. And the most important is pulling. You must be smart with your pools. I am a person who says if you like a character, pull them. Because I believe that's the best way a person will have fun for gacha game. You play with the characters that you genuinely like. But, of course, in typical gacha fashion,
Yeah.
There are characters that fit certain roles. So if you log into your account and you realize, I have like no attackers because everyone I've liked is a support or a tank, and then you realize you're lacking in damage. That's when you will have to make caveat decisions so you at least can have a damage dealer. And that's where smart pulling comes into it. You have to really think about who you want, or what really is more so. You can think about who you want, but you really have to look at your account and see what you need as a free to play. You know, if you look at your account and you say, man, I have a lot of DPS, but I have no sustain units, which is healers or tanks, then at some point you need to smartly pull, whether a rerun character or a new character, a healer or a tank. Even if you don't like them specifically, you have to get one. Now, again, you can say you have some, but if you don't, and you have to really make sure your units are well built, and just think, you can't just go in there and just pull, because you still can fail, number one. And if you do fail, you really need to debate on how you're going to use your guarantee character when you're free to play.
True.
There's just certain rules, at least in Hoyo games, because you get a lot, but you get nothing at the same time. There are rules to do when you are a 100% free to play. You don't build banners ever.
Why would you do that?
No. I will explain building banners. There's a positive and a negative to that. I build banners a lot, but I do it for characters that I have interest in having. So what ends up happening is, let's say there's a character coming out next patch. And there's a character out now that I kind of want, but obviously I want the character next more. What I do is I build it I'll spend 4 times, 10 spins, 40 spins. 30, between 30 and 40. The only way you get 50 is if the character is someone I genuinely want, but kind of know if I don't get them early, then I can't really go from, because I want the next character just that much more. True. If you get a pool within that 30 and 40 spins, congratulations, you got an early spin. That means you still have enough time to get the character you want. Next patch, you can still save some, and you got the character that you also wanted. So congratulations, you got lucky. If you win. If you lose, then that just means the character that you actually want is guaranteed. Wipe your hands, easy spins. Next patch, you're good to go. The character is guaranteed. When you don't build up a banner is when you don't give a fuck about the character entirely. If you don't really care about the character, then you don't build up their banner. You don't build up any banner, because you never know. You could have complete dog shit in a gacha. And this literally happened to me on ZZZ. Not wanting a character, but just having complete dog shit. I spun on a character named Astra, who I wanted because she grew on me. But at the same time, I wouldn't have gave a fuck off if I skipped her, because the next character that came out, I wanted. Even more so. And her weapon. So it was one of those situations. But I did 2 spins. I said, I'll do 2 spins and that's it, because I want Evelyn. Astra popped up. I was like, what the fuck? Okay. And I did, and I actually won the 50-50. It wasn't a guarantee. So
that's cool.
Yeah, now I say this now, my luck on ZZZ in terms of winning, not when they pop up, but winning the 50-50 has been, I have won 3 in a row, which is shocking to me. because my luck on ZZ was complete dog shit. But
sure.
yeah, it was bad. But those are there's just certain rules when you're free to play. I'm not gonna go all over. There's more, but you get the point.
Yeah.
Hoyoverse gives nothing, and if you are an avid, we'll end with this. If you are a person who like gotcha games and all this, and you only play Hoyoverse games, I understand that's great. That's great. Venture out, play others on your phone if you can or whatever, and you will see the difference in care that the developers give their fan base and compare it to Hoyoverse games. I'm excluding ZZZ because we really don't know what ZZZ will do on their anniversary. As far as I'm concerned, the ZZZ devs are the best devs of Hoyoverse of the 3 games, by far.
Really?
Yeah, by far. Not even close. So
yeah, and also they're also having a little spat with the voice actors about one of the characters, I believe, being voiced by somebody else because of the strike. But it's weird because they're still voicing the characters
because
like Paimon voice
there
actors.
is no the strike.
Mm-hmm.
I'll send you a link to a video about it.
Mm-hmm.
The strike is for union actors only, supposedly. And from what I've watched, I watched the video from a voice actor.
Mm-hmm.
He actually voices a character named Risley in Genshin Impact.
Mm.
But he gave a long, nice long video about what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, there is no the strike is for, again, union stuff. Hoyoverse is non-union.
Oh, okay.
So, technically speaking, those games are not affected by the strike. What's happening is because of the strike, there are people who are I don't want to say take advantage. I think those are the wrong words, but they're basically standing up for their peers or whatever and just refusing to work.
And they keep getting replaced.
And they get replaced because there are people who are willing to work.
Yeah.
Now, people say, "Oh, you shouldn't take your friend's role." There's no listen. In the entertainment world, there is no such thing as friends, man. It's I give ZZZ and these I give Hoyoverse a lot of shit. One thing I will say is their characters remain silent for quite the people who don't want to work.
Mm-hmm.
They keep them silent for some time. And what I've noticed is if they want to use a character, meaning in a significant way, like the story arc is revolving around a certain character, if the character is silenced, then they will replace, because that character is going to be important to the story. And I'm sorry, they run a business here.
Yeah, they're not about to
important, legitimate, important characters where the story revolves around them silent. It is fucking. It's not fun. It's not engaging.
Yeah,
it's not fun to play through. It's not fun to listen to. So they are replacing when the character is actually important.
Yeah.
And while I think they should let people know, apparently they're saying some of us understand they're not even being told they're being replaced.
Which is weird.
I don't know if that's true or false. I'm going to take their word to say that's true. I think that is scummy. I think Hoyoverse should listen. Call people like, listen, if you're not coming to work, we're
Yeah.
going to recast you.
Actually, no. That's where I actually kind of changed a little bit. If you don't show up for work, you already like in real life, right? If you don't show up to where you work currently, you don't show up for 3 fucking days. What's gonna happen to you?
Well, first, in where I work, they'll probably call you to make sure you're alive.
Okay,
but eventually, we'll say a week.
Yeah. So imagine if you don't show up to work for a week.
Yeah, then they're just gonna fire you and get rid of you. And then if you go back there thinking that you have a job, they'll just tell you, "Oh, we let you go because you work
didn't show." Yeah, you didn't show up. My job currently, because I work from home, my job is not going to say shit to you. They're not going to let you know. If I don't show up for a week, it's non-vacation time. What's it called? And then I try to log in. I'm not going to be able to log into work. They're going to be like, "Do you honestly really think you still work here? You haven't shown up since the 1st. It's the 30th. What the fuck?" You know what I mean? So some of those actors aren't showing up. So what are they supposed to do?
Now, I will say this because it's very weird. Because even though Hoyoverse is non-union, some actors are union, and because it's a strike, they're technically not supposed to work.
Yeah.
So it's weird because you have the union thing is weird because technically, from what I could be wrong. I'm not saying I'm, I'd looked into a lot of voice acting stuff, not just for this reason, but just in general. I could be wrong. Union voice actors are supposed to work on only union things, barring certain conditions. So that's why a lot of them are doing Genshin Impact, etc., etc. I don't know where the line is drawn there with the strike because it's only for video games, but it's not anime, it's just video games. Because you have some union actors, potentially union, I don't know, who are still voicing their Genshin character or whatever. You have some that's not possibly, but I think if you're union because it's an actual strike, you're not supposed to work. But we'll go on the assumption that people are not showing up for work. Yeah. Because essentially what's going on when it comes to the non-union games.
Yeah. The Paimon actress, while she's like, I'm with the union, blah, 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 she continuously shows up for that paycheck, though.
Yeah, because, again, there are conditions that you can have to work non-union jobs while in union. It's a bunch of shit. The video I just sent you, that guy goes into a lot of it. But either way, if you choose not to show up for work, I'm sorry. I mean, I think me personally, I probably call a person and like, listen.
Oh, I know this guy.
You're a cast.
Yeah, obviously.
Or
show the fuck up.
Because especially if I think you're good at your job.
Yeah.
Me personally, you get one call. You don't answer your phone, tough shit. One call. You pick up the phone. The conversation is a very quick and simple. Hello, Mr. Mrs. Blah, blah, blah. Your character is coming up in a story involving your character, an important story involving your character is about to come up.
Yep.
If you are not able to work, you will be recasted ASAP.
Exactly.
If you can continue to work, then let's get together and record your lines. Simple.
Yeah, literally that simple.
I don't need to hear. I don't want to hear. Oh well, woe is no. It's either you can do your job, or you'll be recasted for this particular job.
That's literally that simple.
Now, even if you're part of the union and you're not able to work, it's still the same because a lot of people don't understand that this is a business. And you have a fan base that you have to appease to. You don't want your English fan base to be like, what the fuck are our voices? Why is my game silent? Because not everyone, well, switch it to Japanese, huh? Not everyone's going to do that. Okay?
Yeah, no, that's not what's
Not
gonna
everyone's
happen.
going to switch to a fucking new language.
I actually like knowing what my characters are saying. I'm so
So
sorry.
not everyone is going to sit there and read subtitles. So when you have someone that's majorly important silent, it breaks the entire story. It fucks it up. The company doesn't want that because that affects their that feels in the little feedback they say. Where's our voicing? They don't want to hear that shit. It's not good for the story they're trying to present. And it's not good for business. So ultimately,
yeah, it's still a
business decisions have to be made. Now, like you said, they don't have to say if you refuse to come to work. Truth be told, they don't have to say shit to you
at all.
But now there are situations because they always say due to some voice acting scheduling. Schedules can be anything.
Yeah.
Because there was a voice actress in Honkai Star Rail who could not perform her lines at the time. And she came in and did them later. And they just spliced them in at some point.
Yeah.
If I play that patch now, her voice, she will have a voice. I have an alt account that hasn't done that, so I'll be able to really confirm it. Because when I did it on my main, my alt is free to play, by the way. But when I did it on my main, she didn't have a voice. So if I do it on my alt, she'll have a voice. That's fine. Things do happen. But when you legitimately just don't show up, it is not their responsibility. I personally would. I think it is at least charitable to tell someone. But they don't really have to, considering this game is not even part of the strike. So
that, and the fucked up part is half of them you had to sign a contract, right? You had this 9 out of 10 they had to sign like a contract.
Oh yeah.
There is 9 out of 10 that contract is gonna literally say like, hey, this is on this is on that. You fail to show up. Like, again, if I could pull up my offer letter, some of the stuff that can get me terminated is literally 3 days. They don't even got to do anything beyond that. 3 days. I don't show up for 3 days, Darkwave, I'm gone. I will no longer have access to my computer, and then I have to go return everything.
Yeah.
I'm done. Like, that's not how it works.
Yeah, I agree. Obviously voice acting situations are different because of the strike.
Yeah.
You got to take that into account. But for the majority, these games aren't affected by it. So, and people say Hoya versus coming for us. I'm like, really? Because characters have been silent quite often. They only really, from what I've seen from playing the games, I'll use ZZZ for example.
Yeah. There
was a character named Lycon who was silent for about 2-3 patches, 1.4. So 1.4, 1.6. So about 2 patches, completely silent. Might even be earlier than that. He didn't get a new voice actor until literally this patch. Why is that? Well, his character's fucking important in this particular patch. Same thing with a character named Soldier 11. Her character has done nothing since the beginning of the game. Now, I don't know if they just changed the voice because they wanted to go a different direction or not. That's a different discussion. But she got a new voice actress for this patch. But she hasn't been around in so long that, that could just be voice direction itself. The Lycon thing, though, he was legit silent because he would show up in like events or little mini parts of the story, but would have no voice. But now they recast him because he's very important to the story. So I think that the company, unless they're just sitting down this entire time waiting to recast, just auditioning people.
Yeah.
I think they give a lot of time, from what I have seen, to people who don't do their voice.
Oops.
Because, and maybe they are waiting until they get ready to start on a patch. And if you don't show up, then whatever. We had to replace you because this character is integral to the story that we're telling. But if they're not important to the story, they'll keep you silent because you're not important anyway. Hopefully you come back.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. But we can move on because the gotcha stuff can be talked about for an entire podcast, honestly.
Literally. The next thing we get to talk about, you know what we got to talk about. It's the Switch 2. I can't wait.
Where do we begin?
I can't wait to. Where do we begin? First of all, I am a Nintendo fan, and I've always been, always have been, always will be possible. But after this nonsense that they are concurrently doing, I don't understand what the hell is happening. Whether they have lost their fucking minds, whether they think that they are on the same level as a PlayStation or an Xbox. It's actually kind of weird me out that they think that they're on the same level as one of these consoles. Why are you charging me $450 fucking dollars for something that that's still not on a PlayStation or Xbox's level or PC? What is happening? They were once the family-friendly console. Yeah.
The price of the console itself, that didn't even bother me. Because I expected that. I expected that for the console.
Yeah.
To me, that's doable. Not necessarily wanted.
No. For me, the price of the console is the part where I'm like, if I was to get it, I would just go to GameStop and pay $400 in chunks. But
the price of the console is the least of my concern with Nintendo and this Switch 2. And that's not because I work at Target. That's just because I kind of figured it'd be around that price anyway.
Yeah.
It's the games that I have an issue. This isn't the first time, by the way. For people who know, this isn't the first time Nintendo's done this. Nintendo 64, I'm looking at you. This has been a thing with games that, games should cost more because the time and the effort put into the games.
Not our problem. It's literally the company.
Here's a hot take. No base game. I don't give a shit who it is. No base game is even worth $80. Half of them aren't even worth $70. Okay.
That is true.
When I'm going to name 2 games on right now. I'm going to say 2 games. Resident Evil 4 Remake and Elden Ring. Both games, $60. Both of those games alone have more quality than I would say 70 to 80% of every $70 game. If your game is not on the quality of those 2 games, what are we doing?
I have no idea. But that's where Nintendo fucked up. And well, I'll get to it in a second.
Let me tell you what Nintendo did.
Mhm.
That press conference was actually not terrible, right? Started.
It wasn't.
Again, I personally didn't have a price for the console.
Yeah.
So it wasn't terrible for me.
Mhm.
What Nintendo did, they took you out to dinner, gave you a great meal, wine, drinks, and then you're ready to go home you're ready to go home with them and let them and have some fun with them. Instead, they put a nice little roofie in your drink and they fucked you up the ass.
What the fuck?
Just like that.
What is wrong with you?
This is what they did. Because, I'm sorry, Mario Kart?
Mhm.
Mario Kart.
Yeah.
I repeat, Mario Kart.
Yes.
$90?
Yeah, physical. And they,
90.
by the way, they were trying to predict the tariffs, and it's just a whole nother thing. It didn't work out because it didn't look right in the end.
$90. And then y'all prices are all over the place. Now, a lot of people don't know is, did you know they increased the price of Breath of the Wild, even for the Switch?
Yeah. You have to pay
almost €10 game.
Yeah, you have to pay potentially about $90 to $100 if you want the DLC to come back.
No, we're just talking about base. We're talking about now, meaning the Switch.
Shit.
I don't know if you noticed it. That game is $17. Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
They increased the price. Nintendo is the prices of the games will be what we determine is the quality of the game or whatever the case may be, right?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Nintendo. Who are you to determine the quality of a game? Do you know who determines the quality of any game?
The fans.
The consumer.
Mm-hmm.
Nintendo, whomever is developing, I don't give a fuck who you are. You do not determine the quality of the game you are putting out into the wild. That is why reviews exist. Because if you could review your own game, every game will get a 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
That's not how it works. I don't care how much money you put into a game. How much money and time does not equate to quality. Looking for spoken.
True.
They don't equate to quality. You don't have the right to say, we will decide based on the quality of the game. Who the fuck are you? The quality, I could think there's more quality in Fire Emblem Warriors than it is in whatever Mario game you're shoving down my throat.
Yeah, because what they said doesn't make any sense. But then also, the problem with that, and I'm going to say this, they fucked up by trying to justify it by saying they're giving you a variable pricing and the quality of the games, all right, you equal out to the price you pay. And when you put 2 seconds of brain thought into that, Donkey Kong, your new Donkey Kong game is $70. So that means that game's not worth it. Oh, shit, that's crazy. This game right here, I forgot which one. It's also $70. So that also means it's not worth it.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
Gen 10 Legend ZA.
Mm-hmm.
In the current state of Pokemon,
Mm-hmm.
those games aren't even worth $70.
No, they are not. They're not even close to that.
So, but what makes Nintendo think what makes them think they determine the quality? Because, do you tell you what this is? I'm gonna translate what they mean by quality. Okay. In translation, we know you suckers are gonna buy this game regardless. We're gonna jack up the price because you jerk us off and you praise everything Nintendo. So we'll just any game that we know you're going to buy, Mario, Zelda, Mario Kart, Smash Bros, and Pokemon, the top 5. Those games are gonna be premium prices. Games we don't think you're gonna buy, like Donkey Kong and Fire Emblem, they'll be standard, $70. That's the translation. Basically, the dick riders out there, we're charging your arm and a leg, bro.
Yeah,
because we know you're gonna buy them regardless. Millions of people are gonna buy them regardless. Whereas Fire Emblem, maybe not. We'll keep those at a nice, decent price. That's basically what they're saying without actually saying it. Basically, Nintendo is basically calling you all the true hardcore fan base a bunch of fucking simps and a bunch of fucking cucks. That's basically what they're calling you without actually calling you that.
Yeah, they're calling us a bunch of idiots, and I'm like, wow. If anybody's that fucking stupid,
I mean, and you know there are. That's the problem. People will look at Pokemon Gen 10, $80, $90, and say, "Oh, that's worth it, man." And their logic will be, "Well, think about it, man. You get all the updates and the online, and then you're putting at least 100 hours into it." Oh.
My G, if you think I'm gonna put another $80 down for Breath of the Wild, a game that not only that I can clearly play right now, but a game that is almost 10 years old, then you're nuts.
They do have a free up. Well,
it's not free. You have to pay for it.
If you have their online premium thing, like the $40 a year thing, some games will be free. If not, Breath of the Wild is $10 to upgrade,
which is fine.
To the Switch 2.
Again, that's fine. I don't care if it's $10.
But again, the fact that the Switch 2 version, if you buy it, doesn't even come with DLC. What are we doing?
Bro, that was insane. And I was just like
the game is almost a decade old at this point, and we are not including DLC with the game on Switch 2. I don't understand this. First of all, who's buying it for Switch 2? But second, why? As I said, man, Nintendo is taking their fan base and legitimately fucking them up the ass. Legit. They do not care because they know people will buy it and not just one or two. We're talking about in droves because there are people defending this.
Yeah, so there are people defending it, and it's
weird. Like I said about the Pokemon thing. The Pokemon thing. Well, you put 100 hours to the game and more than 100 hours, and then you got the little online updates for new raid Pokemon and this, that, and the third. And it's like, bro, that means jack all to me. Cyberpunk. Let's go down the list. $60 games or less. Neo 2.
Mm-hmm.
The PS5 version alone has 146 hours. The PS4 version has over 700.
Jesus Christ.
$60, by the way. By the way, that's way more time than I've put in any Pokemon game. Barring maybe like Gold and Silver. By the way, Gold and Silver clowns, best in the franchise, in my honest opinion.
It's actually Pokemon Y, but you know why. You know why Pokemon Y is the best in the right. Come on. Do you not see the bird? Get the fuck out of here. It's a raven. Ravens are the greatest animals of all time. What the fuck? If I could switch my dogs to a ravens, there'd be ravens in this house.
Dynasty Warriors. 8 empires.
Oh, hundreds of hours, yes.
160 hours.
Yeah, easily. That's too easy. You can literally
$60.
For the Empire games, you can literally start the game and then magically be like, oh man, I started this game at 12 o'clock. It's 8 in the afternoon. It's 8 at night. What the fuck? I didn't even realize I was playing this long. Man, let me finish this one campaign real quick, and then next thing you know, it's 2 o'clock in the morning, son of a bitch.
Dragon Ball Z Xenoverse 2 PS4, 352 hours.
No, you put more hours than me than that. I only put like 7.
PS5 version, 31. Shows you how much the game is falling off.
Damn.
Here we go. Cyberpunk, ladies and gentlemen. 221 hours.
Oof.
The point is here, people, these games were $60. Now, I don't know how many hours I have in Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
I would say, you know what? I would say definitely over 100, maybe close to 200. Maybe.
Yeah.
But
I generally would say every game on my current wall right now is worth $60, and then not only all of them collectively probably have $1,000. As you notice, it's Elden Ring, Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3, and Bloodborne, and Demon Souls up there. Is there a Demon Souls up there? Yeah, there's a Demon Souls up there. Yeah, Demon Souls, and then of course, all that stuff there. But at the end of the day, I'd say all that's more worth it. And it's sad when I can say, Nintendo, I love you, but you're not those guys. None of your games are that. Dust Bloods may be good, but it's a PvPvE game, so that's a instant wait a minute type of situation.
Dust Bloods is not worth spending $450 for one console.
One game.
I don't
There's
give a
a
shit.
Machina 2 I would have got, but I'm like, is it going to be on other consoles again?
2 is going on other consoles, so thus makes the Switch 2 irrelevant. And I have the first one, and I still need to finish the first one.
I do too. I keep stopping myself, but then I also got it on PC, and it was like, why in the fuck did it come out on Switch so like this and just stagger the launch?
I mean, I like the Switch version. It doesn't bother me. I just like I would probably rather prefer to play that game co-op.
Yeah.
And every time I play solo, it's like, man, I just really want to play a nice mech game like this co-op, and that game has. I think the story is co-op. I think, or something's co-op about it. So that's kind of why I always drop. But I love that game. Unfortunately, Armored Core came out, and From Software yet again saying "Hold our beer," which is kind of a trend nowadays.
Yeah, From Software keeps going. Oh, you made this game. Hold the beer real quick.
Yeah, we'll do it somewhat better. Although I have thoughts about Night Rain.
We can talk about it. When we're done here.
But Nintendo, the games, like I said, the gist of all of it, they're premium titles that they know are going to sell. They're going to jack the prices because they can. There's the TARFs, no, because this ain't the first time Nintendo's done this.
This is the second time.
It's not surprising.
Yeah.
Will I buy these games at $90? No.
No.
I'm not buying the game at $80. I don't even buy games at $70.
I mean, because where you work, but you're a lucky bastard.
Yeah, basically. So it's like, no. Like the console itself, I was like, $450.
Mm-hmm.
I don't give a fuck about Mario Kart. $450. Okay,
yeah.
I can do that.
Mm-hmm.
That's about, I don't know, about $390 low fours at my job. I can do that.
Yeah, yeah.
Then you look at the games, it's like,
what?
Why would I buy this console to play the games I already have on the Switch? And then on top of that, I got to figure out how to transfer my SD stuff to another SD card.
I'm not buying an express SD card that is 2 times more expensive than an SD card I already have on my Switch OLED.
I have to buy I have to get I guess a card reader or something to transfer data from one card to the next card because you can't use the same fucking card.
Mm-hmm.
Why would I do that if I'm just going to play Switch games? No.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, by there not A, being no games I give a fuck about, and B, $80. No. Dust Blood, listen. Good concept, probably. It'll
Yeah,
probably be fun. It is not
but
worth
your Switch exclusive.
$450.
Yeah,
It is not worth $450.
yeah. They might as well just said Night Rain's gonna be on the console and call it the fucking day. And
It
I'm like,
is
oh wow.
It is PvPvE, which already can be one of two things. It'll either be a balanced hell like Extinction or that dinosaur game Capcom did, or it'll be just mindless fun. On top of that, I love From Software, but let's be honest here, their online structure for most of their games are fucking dog shit. Nintendo's online structure has always been dog shit. So,
Did you see that chat button? That chat during the? I was like, okay.
yeah. So, yeah. If you think I'm putting any stock in that game for $450 now, and I love From Software, they're probably my favorite developer right now, easily. But
Yeah, and
that's
a lot of
blood
people,
in it, bro.
it's going to be a Wii U too.
Oh,
So
probably.
yeah, it's probably going to flop with the Wii U, and then everyone's going to be like, "Well, whose fault was that?" But
That's the best case scenario, honestly.
yes, worst case, it does worse than that. But I think Nintendo's overdue for a shit console, and it so happens to have the same type of naming convention as the Wii U. We will see what happens. Whoops. Whoops. Motherfuckers are idiots. But that's just me. The problem, the main problem I have is what it sets for the rest of the gaming world. If you act like any of the other dicks are not watching, and something is wrong.
Of course they're watching. This is the main issue. It's not going to be just limited to Nintendo. I mean, rumors of GTA 6 being $100 was what, 2 years old now? And then you see Nintendo doing this shit, and it's like, okay, Rockstar, go ahead and drop the bombshell. Go ahead.
Yeah, might as well at this point. Very second you motherfuckers say it's 220. It's 100.
It's like the Nintendo shit just made it like, all right, Rockstar just peel off the Band-Aid. Go ahead.
Yeah, might as well, dudes.
Go ahead. Announce your game for $100. Go ahead. I won't buy it, but go ahead.
Oh yeah, no. If they announce it for 100, I'm sorry. I'm gonna fucking take.
I like GTA, but no.
Yeah, not $400 worth of buying it. I'm a little tired at this point. And a fucked up part is I only buy collector's edition of From Software games. Literally. Because I know I'm going to play the fuck out of the game. From
Software is one of the few developers that, and then they're not the only one, but they're one of the very few that not only do you feel comfortable buying a deluxe edition or early access edition or whatever, but you know you're going to get quality. There's the word quality games, and you can actually trust them when they go outside their box. Like I do think Dusk Bloods will be fine.
Yes,
it's just like Elden Ring Night Rain. It is fine. They're not bad games. So
yeah, it's not going to be bad.
Basically, FromSoft has earned the trust of their consumer.
They definitely did this.
They can throw out any type of game, any type, and people are willing to give it a shot because it's From Software. When you see a game conference and you see FromSoft pop on the screen, you put down your phone and you watch what they're doing.
Yeah, it's just always going to be
no matter what it is. It could be Bloodborne kart racing.
You're gonna be like, okay, guys.
It could be a Dark Souls dating sim. You will look at the screen and you will stop what you're doing and you will pay full attention because it said From Software.
Yeah, like that VR game that came out. Everyone stopped what the fuck they were doing and said From Software. Oh, okay. even if it's a game that I clearly would never play.
Yeah, I mean,
Even
again, it could be the most. Again, it could be fucking Dark Souls dating sim with all the fucking fire maidens, fire maidens, and you will watch the screen. And even if you know it's a dating sim, you will watch.
Darkwave.
Your eyes will not leave the screen.
Darkwave. You know for a fact that the game will not only sell out, but you probably be able to. Do you really honestly think, dog? You give me a chance. I'm sorry. I'm buying that. You're gonna. People are like, you're weird. I'm gonna be like, I don't give a fuck.
Buy a fucking a Dark Souls dating sim with all the Souls women in the game. Millennia, Maria, the Fire Keepers,
Now
the
you're
Maiden
fucking
in
up.
Black.
Now you're fucking up. I would date Millennia every time I play the game.
Congratulations, you got Scarlet on your dick. Congrats.
I don't care.
Yeah, man, you'd be better off dating Millicent, bro.
I would still date Millennia.
Hey, man, let's go for it. Man.
I'd
go for the Maiden in Black, bro.
Stop talking.
From Software, by the way, I don't care for dating sim, so FromSoft. If some random geek from FromSoft sees this, don't make a fucking Dark Souls dating sim. I swear to God, please.
Make it.
God.
Anywho, moving on. It's like I said, for me, it's the fact that other companies are watching.
How many geeks are gonna go after fucking Sister Frida?
Me. I would have 9 to 12 different game files going after each and every one of them. You are nuts.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yep.
Why would you do this? Why would you
listen, man. Priscilla, she's all mine, bro.
What the fuck you talking about?
Priscilla?
Nah, she's mine.
Maiden Black, bro, best Firekeeper, hands down.
That's not a Firekeeper though.
She's the role, bro. She's the level up lady. She's the best one, bro.
I'm gonna say the level up lady, yes. Firekeeper.
Listen, man, she's the best. Listen, she started it all. Well, of the Souls game, she started it all.
Oh, she started as a level up thing. I was gonna say the Firekeeper, I'm gonna say no. Stop it. The girl in the freaking Firekeeper shrine would be the first Firekeeper you meet in the first one.
Souls of the lost, key to the ether. Souls of the lost, return to this vessel, that the world might be mended. So the world might be mended.
I know, but she's cool.
They're all cool. Probably the best one is probably Dark Souls 2, though. To be fair,
no, the Emerald Herald. I was like, granted, if they made a dating sim, I'd still try to get date her. She was probably the weakest one, and it's so much I want to say, but we'd be here for the rest of our lives talking about stuff in Dark Souls, especially Dark Souls 2 with its problems. But no.
Hey, man, I like the Emerald Herald, man.
I like the Emerald Herald.
Dark Souls 3
it's fucking stupid.
It's weird because Dark Souls 3's Firekeeper is like,
oh, that was my boo.
It's very hard because she is top tier.
Oh yeah,
but it's something about the Demon Slayer's Maiden in Black that I'm just like, I think I like you slightly more. I don't know why.
She just had to clean her feet. Jesus Christ, what are you walking in?
No, I just think I like her slightly more. I don't know why.
No, her and the one from part 3 were just, I don't know about them. It's just their aura, and you got to learn more about them a little bit more than the Emerald Herald, who obviously something's wrong with her and blah blah blah, dragons, blah blah. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, okay, where did you come from? And then she said her real name. I keep forgetting her real name, and I'm like, wow, still don't know shit about you. That's amazing. By the end of this game, versus the Firekeeper, who, if you give her eyes back, she's like, I'll help you. And you're like, oh crap.
All right. Quick one for you. Better fight. Maria, Frida, Millennia.
That's a fight that I love all 3 of those fights. I honestly don't have.
That's not why I asked you. I said better fight. Not because of just if you had to fight only one, who would you fight? The 3 waifus, bro.
Okay. To answer that question, I'm gonna have to never answer that question ever in life.
Nah, man.
Nah.
Gotta
Moving
answer-
on.
I mean,
Never.
mine's is easy. Mine's is easy.
It's Maria, isn't it?
Of course. Because why would I want to,
Yeah.
first of all, even if you don't deal with the difficulty, right?
Yeah.
She just has a better fight.
Man, I honestly think all
Free
three of them
Day, fuck Sister Free Day.
Yep.
She's nothing but fucking hell Estes check.
Hey, Spirit.
She's nothing
Spirit's
but an
hair got longer.
Hmm?
Huh? I said
Free
Spirit's
Day
hair
is
got
nothing
longer.
but health check, and Millennia is a one-move fight.
Hey, shut up, dog. In my background, fuck you, dog.
It is facts.
Where's the other dog? All right, yeah. For me though, I like all three of them. The music, the encounter, and the
But that's
ones
great.
that talk
You didn't
shit
answer
to
the
you.
question.
I'm never answering the question. Why are you trying to get me to? You're not gonna get an answer from me. I love all three of them to death. Okay, my background, literally on my computer, is the three of them fighting, like legitimately. That's the funny part. Like and then one of my other computer, the background is Maria, Fride, and Melania sitting down at a table, and they all have
they're
wine in their hand.
those waifus, but yet you refuse to answer the question, man. You are a coward.
If I'm a coward because I don't have a favorite waifu, then I don't care.
It's not about the waifu, sir. It's about the fight.
Actually, you know what? That one right there. So that's my favorite waifu.
It's not about the favorite wife. I said, who's the best fight? Not waifu.
Why are we doing this? Stop it.
I said, who's your favorite fight? Who's the best fight for you?
All three of them.
No. I ain't saying who's the best waifu. I'm saying who's the best fight. It's different.
Yes. All three of them. Yes. I'm answering the question as best I can. That's like asking me who's better between Vegeta and Gogeta. I'm gonna say the same shit.
I mean, who do you like more? Everyone has a preference.
Yes. That is the truth.
Like Vegito for me.
Oh, that's cool. It's cool. But if you had kids, would you say one of your kids are the favorite kids?
They're not your kids. Everyone has a favorite kid. Even if you don't say it, you have your favorite. Whoever gives you the less problems is your favorite kid.
That is true. But they don't say it. Anywho, let's move on to the next topic.
Coward.
There's no answer to this. I'll accept that with all my heart.
Coward, man.
Oh Lord, it's time we. Oh shit! I thought I could change the graphics. It's time to circle up on ourselves. It's time to talk about wrestling.
What's there to talk about? What's there to talk about, man? Roman Reigns, Rollins. What we talking about, man? What?
We're gonna talk about WrestleMania predictions, man. Like usual.
Predictions?
Yes, opens up some options.
Sure, man.
Anywho, before then, this WrestleMania, I don't know if it's just me, but this doesn't feel like it's been building up at all. It feels like a regular pay-per-view. Okay, I thought I was the only one. It feels like a regular pay-per-view. I honestly thought I didn't actually remember that WrestleMania is in a couple of days, and that was the Go Home Raw show. So, color me tickled. That I was just like, kind of like Columbo. Just anywho, I was deeply confused at that. Then there's the fact that like they canceled one match on there. I was like, okay, I get it. That's fine. But it felt like it just felt like that match didn't even need to be on WrestleMania at all. Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens. It didn't feel like it was well built up. And then the triple threat match, I felt like Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest could be in the match. For as oh shit, let me take my face off. It just feels like that match has somebody hates somebody. You know what I mean? And for it to just only have just two people in that one, I'm just like, all of you hate each other. So you could actually include like Drew McIntyre, who hates Roman Reigns, who also hates CM Punk. I'm like, why isn't Drew McIntyre in them in this match, bro?
Mania, the build has been lackluster to say the least.
Mm-hmm.
It hasn't been a fun build. It has been very mid.
Mm-hmm.
Multi-man mania galore.
I mean, I don't think it's multi-man.
Matches that just
Actually, let me go double check. You're right. Let me double check.
was multi. There's a lot of multi-mans, but it's like matches that I don't care about. Matches that will probably now the show itself may be good, but it's like the build has been completely botched. You know, you have the main event, the triple threat, custody of Paul Heyman, featuring Seth Rollins. Basically, is what that is.
Damn, I got the nights broken down into two on Wikipedia here, and apparently, night one is actually no. The multi-man mania thing is not true because it's 1, 2. That's for night one is 2 matches, and for night 2 is 3. One of the matches I just don't care.
5 matches out of a 14-match card. That's quite a bit, sir. In my opinion.
1. Do you consider tag matches multi-man matches?
Yes.
Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5 out of 14. You're right. That is a lot.
I don't know. It's like these characters. I don't know. Like
Yeah.
Roman is not likable. I don't really care.
He's boring.
He's
boring
always
as fuck.
boring, as far as I'm concerned. But it's like Punk. Okay. The reasons they're fighting now, you know, Seth, he's just a guy who has stood on business this entire time.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people say, you know, they want him to go back heel because Seth operates better as a heel. But I like my heel turns that make somewhat sense. And Seth turning heel really doesn't make sense right now. Like for him to start shitting on fans is like why? When they're like I can see if they say, "Oh, you guys cheer CM Punk," and then he's like, "Oh, you guys cheer CM Punk means you guys want the business to die, so fuck you guys." You know,
Which doesn't make any sense. And I was like,
but I'm just, and it's just like so because you know everyone considers Roman a babyface now. He's not, but he is, but he's not. He hasn't changed. He's still the same fucking asshole he was. And I'm just like, but Rollins is probably going to be the one turning heel more than likely, which again doesn't make much sense.
Yeah.
I don't know. Let's just go through the matches and give predictions.
First match. What the War Raiders versus the New Day.
New Day.
You think the New Day is going to win for the 14th time?
They need to.
That is true. I think the New Day, the War Raiders. I need them to build them back up to what they were in NFC previously. Then there's Rey Mysterio versus El Grande Americano, which is just stop it with the guessing of who this is. We know who it is. We all know who El Grande Americano is at this point. It's like, stop. You're being fucking weird. Please.
El Grande won, bro.
That'd be dumb.
Nah, man.
I think the match is going to be good because it's Rey Mysterio and Chad Gable because they're both good wrestlers.
El Grande, bro. 100%.
I think Rey Mysterio is going to win it.
It's boring.
Yeah. Jade
Go
Cargill
run.
versus Naomi.
Naomi should win. I mean, she needs it more than Jade.
Yeah, because Jade has beaten her ass like 7 times before previously. It's like, dude, I don't care about this match. You made Naomi seem so weak. Be so for real right now. Then we get LA Knight versus Jacob Fatu, which is actually a match I kind of care about. Because I fucking Jacob Fatu. He's the best thing that came out the fucking bloodline for the last 7 years. Not Roman Reigns, not Jey Uso, Jacob Fatu. Came out of nowhere and just been like, hey, yo, this man's an actual beast.
Yeah.
So Jacob should win that. Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair in a I don't give a fuck match. I honestly can say the winner is the person that makes me care just a tinge because I didn't care about this match. I don't care about fucking Charlotte Flair. I know Charlotte Flair is a good wrestler. I know this. I always say Charlotte Flair is a good wrestler. She should not be in this current match right now. She should probably be doing something else. She should not have won the Royal Rumble. I do not care that she got a divorce from her husband. I don't care anything about fucking Charlotte. It's like the 9th divorce she's gotten. Stop getting married, Charlotte, for the love of God. Tiffany Stratton. I like Tiffany Stratton, but her opponent shouldn't be Charlotte Flair. She should have had a better person to honestly be her opponent. Jesus Christ. But like I said, the winner of this match is the person that makes me care just a slight iota for the match.
Tiffany needs to win. Simple.
Yeah, but if Charlotte wins, at this point, I'm not going to be shocked if Charlotte wins.
Who would? She's already won 14. No one's going to be shocked, but she doesn't need to win.
She does not. Gunther versus Jey Uso. All I know is, for me, I'm a little mixed on this one. I honestly want Jay to win, but I don't think Gunther should lose. I think Gunther should retain the title.
I mean, what you think is not what's going to happen. We all know Jey Uso's winning that belt. I mean, I don't want Jey Uso to win, but my prediction is Jey Uso because he's not going to lose 4 times. Though.
Or somebody's going to cheat. If somebody cheats, then I'll feel more satisfied. But yeah. Next is the main event: Roman Reigns versus CM Punk versus Seth Rollins. And to be quite honest, this is probably the only match in night one that I care about.
I barely care about this match, to be honest with you. I don't give a fuck about Paul Heyman nor the favors. Seth needs to win the most out of all 3, but unfortunately, he stood tall twice per week, so he's probably going to be taking the pin. Unfortunately,
I feel like Roman Reigns is going to receive the pin on this one. It's going to be CM Punk or Seth Rollins that wins.
I think Seth needs it more than both. So
makes sense. To be quite honest, I feel like I would say CM Punk, but I had the funny feeling that WWE is going to be funny and Roman Reigns is going to win.
Boring, but hey, that's what predictions are predictions. I hope not, though. That'd be horrible.
That'd be horrible. The next match is Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez versus Bayley and Lyra Valkyria in a tag team version of I don't give a fuck match. And the winner again is going to be the team that makes me care just a smidge of an iota.
Liv and Raquel winning.
Obviously. Come on, son. And then Bayley's going to do something and probably turn heel, or Lyra's going to turn heel. But at the same time, Lyra does need the W. She needs a W.
She's an Intercontinental Champion. She'll be fine. They're not taking.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I totally forgot she was Intercontinental Champion. Never mind. The Liv and Raquel's going to win the match. Why the fuck are they doing this? Why isn't Lyra going against somebody for her belt? Moving on. We got AJ Styles versus Logan Paul in a why in the fuck is Logan Paul on this card match?
Gotta put him on the show, man. I guess.
No, he didn't do it. You know what? You're right. against AJ Styles, though, I would have rather started a program with him and Finn Balor or something, which would have been cooler instead of putting Finn Balor in a 4-way fucking match with one of his own teammates.
Listen, man, that's the story. So
Okay, the person that's going to win this match better not be fucking Logan Paul. That's all I'm saying.
AJ Styles is going to win. He needs to
Yeah.
win more. So I'm going for AJ Styles.
The next match is Braun Breaker versus Penta versus Finn fucking Balor and Dominic Mysterio, which doesn't make sense because they're both in the same team. Why?
It's the story, man.
Whatever. Finn Balor needs to fucking win.
Prediction: Dom Mysterio wins.
Why you say that?
The story is between him and Finn. It's obvious Finn will be the one that go babyface out of the two of them. So have Dom still the win from Finn and cause even more dissension between the Judgment Day.
You know what? That actually makes more sense. I actually like that.
I am going with good old Dirty Dom.
Okay. All right. I like that. That's a nice. I like that. Okay. The next match is Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre in a Sin City street fight, which every time they add something to the word street fight, I genuinely want to go to Titan Tower. No, not Titan Tower. Wherever they are and slap any writer in the throat who came up with these names. Just say a street fight. It doesn't need to be a Miracle on 3rd Street street fight or a street fight of street fights or the God King Omega street fight or hey, we're in Texas street fight or whatever. Just say fucking street fight. You're just adding fluff to the word street fight. Stop it.
I agree.
It's really annoying, but that's. I think Drew McIntyre is going to win this.
I agree. Drew McIntyre needs to win more.
Yeah, he definitely needs to win. Damian Priest, while he's been looking good, and I love Damian Priest to death, he doesn't need this win. He actually just needs. He doesn't really need it. This fight is actually for nothing. Actually, technically, that's why I said the builds on these matches have been. What the fuck? Like, I don't even know why they even started fighting, to be quite honest with you.
Well, Damian Priest has kind of been a thorn in Drew McIntyre's side every step of the way. If you really think about it, the cash in, the matches. So, technically speaking, there is a story there. Yeah. They're just now deciding to actually talk about it.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Drew McIntyre is going to win. We have another triple threat between Io Sky and Bianca Belair, and then Rhea Ripley inserting herself in the fucking match, which makes Io Sky look like she's a third fiddle, even though she's the champion match, which doesn't make any fucking sense. That one was just confusing. Io better win. I'm like, Io barely had been able to do anything with her fucking belt. Io has to win the belt. This shit doesn't make no sense to me. It's like, yo, we're literally making our champion look like the third fiddle in her own match. What? And there's the last match of the night. It's Cody Rhodes versus John Cena. And I'm going to hot take. Cody Rhodes' title reign is starting to get a little bit annoying.
Man, it's fine. It's just he needs to lose so it can get refreshed. It's fine. It's been fine for now. Yeah. He needs to lose because if he wins, then I mean we're just at that point. No. Yeah. Cena needs to win, bro.
Cena needs to win, but are they gonna allow him to win?
He needs to. And that's what that is my
that's prediction. Your what?
My prediction. I couldn't even think of the word, man.
Yeah, John Cena may win, but honestly, I honestly think they're gonna have Cody Rhodes retain, or there's gonna be interference again, and we're gonna see what everybody in their match, and the two people that are in the match are not going to be in a match for 5 minutes again, just like last year. Again, remember when that happened, where John Cena, everybody else was in. Oh, lost my sound there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, where everybody else is in their match except for them for like 5 minutes, and I was like, this is stupid. But yeah,
WrestleMania's been dumb all year, bro.
You said what?
WrestleMania has been dumb all year. Or this particular WrestleMania has just been. This build has been stupid.
It's been beyond stupid to me. That's why I said I've just been. I don't know. I just haven't been hyped. Like, usually I'm hyped for the WrestleMania. I'm like, oh shit, it's WrestleMania. It's wrestling time. You know. This time I'm just like, WrestleMania. But I have nothing else to speak on. Is there anything else you want to speak on before we head to fuck?
No. Not really.
All right.
I think we discussed everything in gaming. There's the Switch. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we're done. That means we're good for the day. So that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and call it a day here, and I'll see you in the next podcast whenever that happens, because we're supposed to be doing these weekly, but then I keep forgetting or something keeps fucking happening, like jury duty that I had last week, which is amazing. Sitting in a place for 8 fucking hours. 8. For them to tell me at the fucking yesterday to get an email, you're cleared for jury duty. You don't gotta go no more.
Yeah, that happens.
And these motherfuckers is like, hey, yo, their trial, if you get accepted, is going to be 8 months. And I'm like, 8 months of not working? How does that work out? Do you really think I want to fucking work or do jury duty for 8 months and not work? I'll probably lose my fucking job. You're nuts. That's all I would have fuck.
I don't fucking.
Yeah, I don't want to lose my job just for jury duty.
I think it's fucking.
You said what?
I think it's fucking stupid, man.
Oh yeah,
jury duty.
Oh yeah, the trial would have been interesting, and if they said it's about 3 weeks, I would have said sign me up. But
that's the thing. I think one time they asked me, and I'm like, I don't care.
They actually said, "Is there any reason that you don't?" You was like, "I don't care enough."
I don't care enough. I'm not going to pay attention. I've actually never been in a jury. Mm-hmm. I've gone and I've sat there and then they tell me I'm good to go. Mm-hmm. I've never done a jury, but if they actually ask me, I'll just be like, listen, I'm not going to pay attention. I don't care what's happening. I don't want to be here.
Yeah. I'm not going to spend 8 months of my time to be here to do nothing. But that being said, I will catch you all on the flip side, as you can see with my hand signs. Woo! Should have hit that. Have a tattoo. Woo! It's the Oblivion, if anybody doesn't know. It's the Oblivion. Wow. Spirit has the Oath Keeper. But that's just Kingdom Hearts stuff. Let's go!